Hello, and welcome to the Thirsty Witches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books, entertainment, to self-help, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kiara.
And I'm Katalyn.
Happy Halloween, motherfuckers!
Happy Halloween. Also, guys, we're recording this on the day of the eclipse, and the light outside is getting so weird. You can definitely tell as like the moon moves in front of the sun, it's just like getting darker.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
The shadows get weird on the ground too as the eclipse gets more complete.
Mm-hmm. I can't see it because I'm not in the right area for it, and also
wow, we're recording a spooky episode, a spoopy episode
during an eclipse.
That's going to be out on Halloween during an eclipse. Wow.
I know.
A moment. Oh yeah,
yesterday
it just got really dark.
And yesterday was Friday the 13th, so.
Yeah, yesterday was Friday the 13th.
We love Friday the 13th.
Look at us.
Anyways.
Wow.
So, as Kira just said, we're going to be doing some Halloween-y, scary, spooky, creepy things
Halloween-y.
for today's episode.
Halloween.
I think Katalyn has a whole mess of fun stories, fun facts for us regarding some stuff around her that's potentially haunted.
A place that I wish I could have taken you guys to, but
one day.
Too far north. I've been.
It'll happen. Listen, we all have jobs now.
We do.
Look at us.
We all have decent jobs.
We all have full-time jobs.
Yeah. Look at us.
Holy shit.
Look at us.
Is this adulting?
Who would have thought? Not me.
Thank God. Thank God.
I mean, I still have 2 jobs, but it's fine.
Okay, but no, seriously. So we're just starting season 4. We were just talking about how we just started this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were all in very different places.
2 years ago, I was still in grad school.
Yeah.
I was still working 2 jobs. I just quit the gas station.
See, but here's the thing. You are now working 2 jobs because you want to. Before, you were working 2 jobs out of necessity. That's different. You are choosing to put yourself in this situation with the museum. You are purposely putting yourself in this situation. Yes. You don't need to at all.
2 years ago, I was still at the gas station. I was just finishing up at the gas station.
Yeah. I know. 2 years ago, I was dying.
You still had your Sunday job too, Victoria.
Yeah, I did. Wow.
Yeah.
How
anyways.
Changed.
Wild. Crazy. It just got even darker outside.
Yeah, I know. I'm Anyways.
let's get into this haunted episode. So should be
before
fun.
we do that, we're gonna do our quenchable moments. And if you're new here, a quenchable moment is something happy or exciting that has happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. To start us off, Katalyn, what is your quenchable moment?
My quenchable moment is that I'm going to a Nuggets game tomorrow.
Nuggets? Basketball?
Yes, basketball. The tickets were $16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they just won the championship. So it's preseason, but
yeah,
it's at the same place where the Avs play. So
a lot of arenas will have basketball and hockey, and during hockey season, they put insulation over the ice and build the basketball courts on top of it. I've watched it get set up and taken down before, and it's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to a Denver Nuggets game tomorrow. It's the first Nuggets game I've gone to. I've been to an NBA game before.
You're doing lots of sports.
Yeah, my roommate really got into it, and I love going to the games. It just took 13 years for her to come around to...
Listen, as a hockey girly, you just gotta let it fall where it may. You just gotta let people just find it themselves.
Exactly. I mean, if we would have gone a few years ago, great, but we're going now, so it's great, and I'm excited. Kind of sucks it's on a school night because the game doesn't start till 7, but it's in Denver, which is an hour-ish, 10-minute drive. But
it's not too bad.
No.
That's how far it was to get to the Kings games from my house.
Yeah, but I have to get up at 6, and then I have a meeting at 7:30 Monday morning.
You'll be fine.
But It'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be fun. They're playing the Chicago Bulls. It'll be great.
Oh,
You'll have a great time.
I'm a basketball person.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's why I go so well. I mostly pay attention to college ball. That's why I go so hard in the paint for Wichita State. If you want to piss me off real quick, talk about how Wichita State is not the team, because it is.
Yeah,
and you're wrong on several levels.
I don't know basketball, but you
see, and I used to play basketball too, so like I love it. The first NBA game I ever went to was a Celtics game. My first time to Boston. My grandpa tried out for the Celtics in the 50s. He didn't make it, but he stayed friends with Bob Cousy until he died. So. Nice. This has been my fun fact all week with the kids, and they were like, "What?"
My grandpa worked in accounting for the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
So I don't know. I see. I'm a hockey girly through and through. You guys know this. But every time Katalyn's like, "I'm going to an Avs game," and I'm like, "Miles Woods."
Anyways, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Nice. That's exciting to go to a hockey game until I can go with you, because it feels like I if I'm going to see a hockey game for the first time, I have to do it with you. So
my first NHL game was with Kiara last year.
Yes, it was, and it was an experience.
It sure was.
We had a great time.
We did. They won.
They did win. But that's fun. I'm excited for you. Victoria, what was your quenchable moment this week?
My quenchable moment is that I am going to be going camping the weekend before this episode comes out.
Woohoo!
And I'm very excited. It means that I will be camping when we record that weekend. But I'll come home for that anyways. But they do like a trick or treat around the campground, and it's always a lot of fun, and it's much safer than like going from house to house, especially where I live, because everything's like so spread apart. So like trunk or treats and stuff like that are very popular here. But it gives the kids the experience of like actually walking from house to house, because they have to walk around the whole campground. Yeah. And they set up like this pirate ship that has like fog and music, and it's really cool. They do a really good job at our campground. So I'm really
what is your sister gonna do? What is she being for Halloween?
I don't know, actually. She has not decided, which is shocking.
I know, I'm like,
it's like 2 weeks.
Listen, she runs around acting like she's 16, 17. I don't know that she's even thought about it.
All right, well, girl better get on it.
Yeah, so, but yeah, my niece is going to come. It'll be a good time. Hopefully my niece is not sick this year, because she came last year and then threw up all over me.
Oh, no.
So, we had high hopes.
Oh, no.
This time around.
No.
Anyways. Kiara, what's your quenchable moment this week?
So my quenchable moment is, yet again, I have really great friends. Jen, Daddy Jen, who you have heard here on the podcast if you're listening, she Venmoed me money, just a random number of money that I looked at yesterday. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she knows that I've been unemployed and that I don't have an income right now until I get my first paycheck. And there is a second book.
I was going to say, did she Venmo you the money for Iron Flame?
There is a second book coming out in November that I have yet to pre-order because I just don't have the money for it. And she was like,
that's amazing.
Congratulations on finishing your first week of work. Go treat yourself with Iron Flame. And I'm like, this bitch.
Okay, but you know what's funny? I'm glad that you told me this, because I was going to pre-order
God, you guys.
I still haven't read the damn book.
If I had 4 different copies of this book,
no, I'm not even joking here. I have it like in my cart.
You can pre-order the special edition of Fourth Wing for me. I don't know.
Hey, there's special editions coming out. This pre-order is coming out this week through someone.
Oh man. That's so funny.
And Iron Flame.
Thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome. Don't do it. But I'm just like, I have such good friends, because literally everyone, like, I was on that Zoom with Jen with 2 N's and them and stuff, and they were all talking about how they all bought that special edition before we knew it was a special edition.
Yeah.
But Victoria, you and I were talking about it, and we're just like, no, it like, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, that it would be a special edition.
Yeah. And and they were all talking about it, and I was just like getting like kind of like sad because I'm like, I literally like don't get to experience this. Like I got the first edition of Fourth Wing, so like I'm very like happy about that. Like I feel special, but I don't get to have like this limited edition one, and I still have yet to like order the second book, and I was just like in my feels. So I'm just like, what the fuck? But I was like,
but now you can get it.
No, I can get it. Because I'm just like, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, I probably won't even be able to pre-order it before it even comes out, because with my first paycheck, that's going to go towards rent and my credit card payment that I need to pay. So I'm like, but now I can. So
yay.
Yeah,
Exciting.
Yay.
Love that for you.
Thank you.
So as you guys know, I've been on a health journey, and with that, I've been looking for tools and products to help me get my health back in check. One of the things I've really been focusing on is staying hydrated, and a product that's really helped me with that is Liquid IV. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than with water alone. It's also come in super clutch when I'm out and about and I realize I haven't hydrated well enough. Plus, it's super convenient to keep in my bag or in my car in case of an emergency. Right now, you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code STAYTHIRSTY at checkout. That's 20% off of anything you order when you shop for better hydration today using promo code STAYTHIRSTY at liquidiv.com. Stay thirsty, bitches. Well, on some not necessarily nice things. Haunted stuff. So Katalyn has a nice little list of stuff on our outline.
It's all one place.
Okay. That I don't think that makes it better. I think if anything that makes it worse.
Well, you know how in Conspiracy how we mentioned The Shining?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the Stanley Hotel, in which The Shining is based off of.
Nice. Awesome. Great.
So in case you weren't aware, Stanley Hotel is in Estes Park, Colorado. Good like hour and a half from me. The valley that it's in, Estes Valley, was quote unquote discovered by the Earl of Dunraven when he visited in 1872, and it was his like coveted sportsman paradise because of the rivers and the valley, and the elk are known for going through there every season. So it kind of became a place where he'd like go, and the elite would go as well. In 1903, Freeland Oscar Stanley, co-creator of the Stanley steamer car, came to the valley to help with the effects of consumption, aka tuberculosis. He loved it so much, and it actually did help his symptoms of tuberculosis. He and his wife vowed to return every summer after that, because winters up there are brutal, even still today. So summer is the time to go. He and his wife Flora were used to East Coast society, and the community of Estes Park had little to stimulate them. So to help with that, they built the Stanley Hotel, which opened in 1909 and is still standing today and is very pretty. It was compared, the first guest who arrived compared it to the posh hotels from back east. In 1909, the hotel had electric lights, phones, ensuite bathrooms, and like a complete staff. So like it was like fancy schmancy. The hotel did pretty well, and then it started to decline until the 1970s when Stephen King and his wife stayed there the last night it was open for the season. And based on a nightmare he had there, he came up with the story of The Shining. So that's kind of the broad
creepy
history. Yes.
If y'all are watching this video, enjoy the faces that I make.
Both of you have that like millennial like it's a really pretty hotel. My roommate and I did a ghost tour of it a couple years ago, and by ghost tour they took us to the places where the public places where a lot of these ghost sightings and things have happened. We also got to see the pet cemetery that's there and the carriage house that had an original Stanley steamer parked in it. So it's really pretty.
Sorry, every time you say Stanley steamer, I just get that jingle.
river.
Yep.
Your home will cleaner. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
You're fine. That's what the car's called. I can't help it.
I'm glad that you
This is
said
how
something
you know.
because I was thinking it.
This is just how you know we all grew up or in the same time frame because it's just cable TV. Everyone.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of people going up to Estes in these cars along the side of the road where the river is here and the road is like here and there's no guardrail.
No.
If you guys come back out here, they actually had to raise the road because of a flood of that canyon in 1976. But anyways, that's a story for a later time. So the ghosties of the hotel. There's several. The Stanley has been seen in shows such as Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, on YouTube, all kinds of stuff. But these are the main stories. Per I think it was the Stanley Hotel website had some of it. Because they have regular tours and ghost tours. Mm-hmm. So like they obviously profit off of it. Mm-hmm. So supposedly F.O. Stanley Freeland is seen in the lobby in the billiard room, which was his favorite room. This includes materializing behind a guest during a tour of the billiard room. He's also been seen in the bar by bartenders, and then when they go after him because he's starting to head towards the kitchen, he disappears. Your face.
I'm just like,
Victoria doesn't do well with ghosts.
No. This is why I constantly say this is some white people shit.
This is like I love haunted places. Anyways, Flora Stanley, his wife, supposedly plays the piano in the ballroom, and this includes keys on the piano like being seen like moving. But it stops whenever someone crosses the threshold. So like you can like peek through the door, but you can't cross the threshold because then she'll stop. And then there's several rooms in the main part of the hotel that are haunted. Supposedly room 407 is visited by Lord Dunraven, was the guy who found the valley. He likes to stand in the corner of the room near the bathroom door. Some have reported that a light it's by the bathroom door. He just stands in the corner.
No,
Tom.
Some have reported that a light in the corner would keep turning on and off. And then from outside, when people are looking up, a face has been reported to be seen in the window when no one is booked the room. And then some have also reported being tucked in the bed, like tucked in the middle of the night.
Oh, thank you so much, Lord Donovan. But actually, I want to stick my leg out, so just don't tuck me too tight.
Victoria's cringing so bad right now.
He just wants to make sure you're comfortable.
Absolutely not.
He just tucks you in like a little burrito.
No.
Are you comfy?
No, ma'am.
That's very nice.
By the bathroom, he's by the bathroom being like, I want to make sure you don't fall in.
Yeah, it's very nice of the son of an earl, like
do you need a light?
Youngest son.
That's creepy and gross.
Could be fun.
Okay.
No, ma'am. Well, I'm telling you right now, if we come out there and we go on this tour, I am carrying a bag of salt with me.
That's right. You don't go up to the rooms. You stay in the public places, which kind of sucks, but
I don't care. I'm still keeping that bag of salt on hand. I will make like the supernatural meme and fill a full hoop full of salt and just walk around.
I'm just picturing Victoria being like throwing "Begone, demon!" Just like throwing handfuls of salt.
No, they make the tour like fun too. Like it's not scary. But also our tour guide was hot when we went, so maybe
listen, it's either I keep a bag of salt on me or I'm gonna end up fist fighting somebody.
You can keep a bag of salt on you.
Okay.
All right, so then
you wouldn't be the first person.
Yeah.
Pass.
Anyways.
I will tuck a salt shaker in my boobies if I got to. Okay.
You can carry a bag with you. It's fine. All right. So in room 418, there's mostly reports of children's spirits.
There you go, Victoria.
There's reports include seeing impressions on the bed when the room has been empty, Guests report hearing children playing in the hallway at night when no children are
Nope.
staying at the hotel at the time.
Nope. Nope.
Just no? None at all?
No. Nope.
Okay. Okay, and then there's 2 rooms that have the same report of a small ghost child. Room 217 and 401. Room 217 is where Stephen King stayed. Reportedly, Stephen King saw the child who was calling for his nanny on the 2nd floor, and there have also been reports of footsteps and apparitions like throughout the building. Like on our tour, they had like pictures that people had taken of apparitions in the rooms we were in and stuff. So King stayed in room 217. So in addition to seeing the child calling to his nanny, he also had a nightmare about a fire hose coming to life and chasing his son, which led to the inspiration for The Shining. And they say that he like woke up, lit a cigarette. By the time the cigarette was gone, he had like the outlines for The Shining.
Damn.
Yes. However, there's more to room 217. In 1911, the power went out and there was a buildup of gas from the lamps being left on after the outage.
Because gas, that's how they
Uh-huh.
For people who are listening, if you didn't know, light bulbs used to be filled with gas.
Mm-hmm.
Before, technology got better. Which is why even now we're told, like, turn off your lights when you leave a room.
Yes.
Because of the
very
dangers that they caused.
Flammable gas, I want to add. So a chambermaid by the name of Elizabeth went to the room, and I don't know if she lit a match or like what happened, but there was an explosion, and this was 2 years after the hotel had been built. She was launched through the floor into the dining room below.
Goodness.
She survived. She was in a coma for a while, but she returned to work at the Stanley Hotel in 1913 and worked there until she retired in 1950. And I've been in the dining room below the room. It's trippy to think about how she was just launched through the floor. Anyways, guests have reported that Elizabeth's ghost tidies the room for them, folds their clothes, and organizes their suitcases.
Look at Victoria, you don't have to organize your suitcase anymore.
You don't have to worry about it.
She don't know my system.
She's just trying to be helpful.
Don't touch my stuff.
Helpful. She's so sweet.
I don't care about the rest of the room. Don't touch my suitcase. No, ma'am.
They also have a pet cemetery on site, which I mentioned, with I don't know if it's whose pets are buried there. I don't remember. But there's also a large cave system under the hotel because Stanley was not a fan of staff being seen getting between places.
Mm-hmm.
So the staff used it to get around. Part of the tunnels are still used today by staff as the entrance to their break room is at the end of the tunnel. I've been in this tunnel. Supposedly there's a ghost of a pastry chef said to haunt the caves based on the smell of baked goods.
I'm not a big cave person. Tunnels.
Yeah, I forget what the rock is that's under there, but it's kind of creepy to walk through. And yeah, their break room's just like at the end.
So what you're
that's
saying
what they go fuck in and out.
Is if you ever come this way, you don't want to go to the caverns.
I'll stand outside of them. It depends on how big they are.
If they're big,
then I'm okay with it.
It's not there. I think
people
who
go. What's it called? The people who go spelunking.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's like fully. It's a tourist attraction.
They're literally going into these tiny little holes their bodies really fit into and climbing through.
No, they have to like have whole crowd, like little old ladies and dads with their families, and
that's fine.
It's a tourist thing.
That's fine. Those are fine.
It's
but tunnels, smaller caves.
Yeah, gross.
So the tunnel isn't bad. Like our tour guide who was like 6'3" was able to stand up straight in them. It's just like
but it's still a
the
tunnel,
earth is right
and those
there.
are creepy.
Yeah, it's like you can see the rock from the mountain side that the Stanley's built into. Mm-hmm. But speaking of the tunnel, when we were in the tunnel, our tour guide said, if you hold out your hand like this, some people claim that they feel someone touch their arm. So of course my roommate and I did that because
it's the pastry chef putting a cupcake in your hand.
No, I don't remember if it was a pastry chef or someone else. I don't remember the story.
Well, if you're holding your hand out like this. pastry
Or
piece.
it was like in greeting, like you're welcoming them to like shake your hand.
Oh.
And so like we did that, and then we're standing there, and then I felt like this on my arm.
Pass.
And then it was gone. It was so cool. I just kind of stood there and I was like, all right, bet.
It liked you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So that's my personal experience at the Stanley, is in the tunnel while we were listening to the stories. My arm got touched.
Just call me Cusco because I will be saying no touchy.
Our tour was also kind of different because our tour guide took us like to see the pet cemetery and to the carriage house. That isn't always included, but it starts like in a beautiful rose garden, or like you meet downstairs where they're like showing The Shining, which is great, and then you go out to the rose garden and like talk about the history. And it's a really pretty hotel. It just costs like $400 a night to stay, which sucks.
You know, I feel really bad for the people who work the tours, because how many times do you think they've seen The Shining? No.
I mean, they don't sit and watch it. It's just that's on as like background noise until your tour starts.
Yeah, but they like probably know it by heart now.
Oh, our tour guide comes up every summer, like went up every summer just to do this for a summer job.
Big Shining fan.
Pass.
Yeah.
And honestly, the rooms being $400 a night, even more incentive to not.
Even more of a pass. There are more stories of like the different outbuildings, and if you watch like Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters, they have more stories because there's like supposedly a bed is unmade when no one is in there, but that got debunked. I think on Ghost Adventures they found out someone paused the camera and like unmade it.
Ooh.
Not on their team, but like someone at the hotel. On Ghost Adventures, they got to go like to this outbuilding where they keep all the mattresses when people die, because like you have to get rid of them a certain way, I guess. So like they're just out in storage. So they went out there. But anyways, that's my story. I thought I'd do something short and sweet, easy that I've been to. You should come visit. It's beautiful.
Victoria
Estes is
will
also
not
really
be
pretty.
visiting.
We can do just a regular tour.
I will do a regular tour.
I mean, the ghost tour is more fun.
I'm still going to carry my bag of salt.
Our tour was at like 6 at night in the summer, and it was still light out. It was pretty. Oh, and they also have like a miniature like hedge maze, like from the movie up front.
That's funny.
There's a maze at one of the caverns out here. It's huge.
Like I was taller than the hedges, Kira. Like it's not scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Stanley Hotel. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Some white people shit.
I love it.
I love that for you. I'm very glad that you find fulfillment.
Victoria supports it, just not for herself.
I've been watching a bunch of ghost things. I've been watching stuff on like Eastern State Penitentiary, Ohio State Reformatory, all kinds of stuff. They're scarier.
Yeah.
This isn't
penitentiaries and reformatories and like mental hospitals are so interesting to me in the US. Especially when you look at it starting from the East Coast and then like track it through to the West of just like how they change, just like how the buildings are developed and stuff. And on the West Coast, it's all like very open air because they realize that like mental patients need like the outside.
Yeah.
And then you look at the ones on the East Coast and they're like a fucking prison.
Yeah.
Yep. And the way that they're built, like it's like a staggered V, a lot of them. And they keep like the middle is where like they have reception and stuff, and they keep like all of like the really cool, nice patients near there because they'll walk around and be like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's so good," and then all the patients that are fucking insane, they keep in the farthest reaches where no one gets to them. Locked away.
Yeah.
Man,
there's a territorial jail up in Wyoming that's supposedly haunted.
It makes me wonder about places like Bedlam.
Oh, the UK is filled with stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying it makes me wonder the differences between here and there. Anyways, I will not be doing spooky tour.
But look how pretty it is.
I don't doubt that it's beautiful. We'll make sure to share some pictures of it on Instagram.
Oh, there's the Stanley steamer.
Call 1-800
steamers. Stanley Steamer is your home cleaner.
Anyways.
Guys.
Anyways.
You can't expect us not to do it every time we say it.
Sure. We are, in fact, millennials. Listen,
90s
commercials, that shit slapped.
They popped off.
Yeah.
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor?
Liquor. Alrighty.
Anyways.
Well,
classics.
If you guys have any good ghost haunted stories, let us know.
I kept it pretty PG this time.
I'm sure Katalyn and Kiara will get some enjoyment out of it. I probably won't read them because that's not for me.
All of it.
I have enough to deal with where I live, so pass. Thank you, but pass.
Hard pass.
Maybe one time I'll do a story about Mothman. But that's a whole other genre. Listen, all I'm saying is if you ever go to the museum, for some reason, the statue, he's like caked. He's like double cheeked up. And I don't know why. None of us know why.
Why not?
So, anyway, on that note, Kira, please take us out with an affirmation.
All right, Will. So today's affirmation is, when I find myself feeling negative, I remind myself of all the things in my life for which I am grateful.
Aw.
That took a second for you guys to respond. Were we lagging?
No. Just debating my life. It's fine.
I feel like you debate your life every time I do an affirmation.
Okay.
Anyways. Thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all the episodes. Make sure to subscribe and follow our socials listed in the description. Make sure you like, rate, and leave a review of the podcast to help boost us across platforms. Have a lovely day. And remember, stay thirsty, bitches.